There is construction literally on the other side of that door right now, but I don't want to wait to do this, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. All right. It's super not annoying. It hasn't been like construction the entire time I've lived here or anything, but whatever, it's fine, everything's fine. First up is 30 Days a Night. This is a 2007 movie starring Josh Hartnett, Melissa George, my second one of her, Danny Hudson, and Ben Foster, my second one of his. So yeah, the basic premise of this is up in Alaska. There's a little town that experiences 30 days a night because they're just so far north. That's how the sun works up there. And well, this is happening. The town gets attacked by vampires. And yeah, this movie's really good. I wasn't expecting to like this movie this much, but like it delivered. It had great spooks. It had great tension. I love the design of the vampires. They were just cool and creepy. They did a great job of like building up to when we finally see them for the first time. And then once we do, it's all hell. It's like the most literal all hell breaks loose. Like there's so much blood and carnage. Like I was kind of expecting it to, kind of pick people off one by one slowly, and then like we don't get really crazy bloodshed till like maybe halfway through the movie or near the end. But no, like they straight up just murdered this town real fast, and it's kind of more about like staying in place and like the tension of just like there's literal death right outside of your place. How do you survive? And yeah, it's really good. I'll put it in really liked. I do have some complaints though. More so just like, what is it? I didn't know if I completely understood the vampire's motivation. Like, why were they really staying here for this long? Like, they do kind of explain it, but I don't know. It wasn't the best. And then like, they were definitely like smart vampires. Like they're kind of almost like zombies, but they did do some smart stuff. They just needed to do some more smart stuff to kind of make it more scary. And then it would have been nice if they would have built up the side characters just a little bit more so we can kind of remember them a little more. So when they die, it's a little more sad. And then I wasn't a biggest fan of how they ended it. Like it's not like a big Hollywood ending, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's not great. And that definitely took it down some points, but I still really liked it. The movie overall was very good. I definitely recommend this, especially for this time of year, especially because it just snowed. So like it's even more perfect because it's Halloween and snowy. So yeah, if you want some spooks, this is a good one. Definitely watch it. Yeah. Our next movie is Paul. This is a 2011 movie starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Seth Rogen, and it's written by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, not directed by Edgar Wright though, which people kind of thought it was at the time, but it wasn't. I remember when this movie came out back in 2011, really specifically because friend of the show, Kevin Heyer, who has his own movie podcast thing now, back then he also had a movie review radio show, and he invited me to come on to talk about this movie. And I still remember everything I said about this movie back then. So my review back in 2011, fresh after watching this movie, was I liked it. And that's literally all I said about this movie. And coincidentally, it still holds up to this day. I still liked this movie. It was fine. It has an incredible cast. The leads are great. But it's just it's like a pleasant movie. It's nice. It's like a turn your brain off. You don't really need to think about things. Just, like if you had some friends over and you're having some drinks, you put this movie on and just kind of like talk over a little bit. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it's nice, pleasant. What really stood out to me though is the CGI on Paul, the alien. It holds up. It looks great. There's only like a couple like wide shots where it looks a little wonky, but like otherwise he looks legit awesome. I love his eyes. His eyes have so much detail in them. So like I know there's some other movies from this time, yay construction, that did not have nearly as good as CGI as this movie, which is kind of crazy. It's like this is just a silly stoner comedy thing, and it's like it has great CGI. Alright, well, whatever. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna say though, it definitely did need to be rated R. I don't know why it's rated R. They just like there's lots of swearing in it for some reason. They totally could have taken out all that swearing, and it would have been a good PG-13 movie, and probably would have made a lot more money. Because I don't think it did great. I think it did okay. I don't think it flopped, but I definitely didn't do amazing. Yeah. And lastly is St. Elmo's Fire. This is a 1985 movie starring Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, and Mary Winningham. This movie features the most members of the Brat Pack. Basically, if you've seen any like teenager coming of age movie from the 80s, it features some of these people, essentially what that means. I wanted to watch this because years ago I read Rob Lowe's memoir, and it was pretty good, and he talked extensively about this movie. I don't really remember what he said, but it made me want to watch this movie, and I saw it was on streaming, so I was like, yeah, let's watch it. Yeah, the basic premise is it's a bunch of kids who just graduated college, and they're trying to figure out, what to do next with their life, how to live their lives, how to be adults. And with other movies I've talked about, I love that sort of thing. Like even though I'm 30, I still like totally relate to that because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, and yeah, it's just a good subject that I can really relate to. But like, I know, construction. Anyway, I lost my thought. I can't think of it. Okay, cool. But like, the movie is really about addiction, like addiction to alcohol, addiction to cocaine, and a sex addiction. And then one character literally just stalks a character for the entire movie, and then also sexually assaults her at the end of the movie. And then the scene is like a victory, and I'm like, no, you literally stalked this woman. You threatened her roommate to find out where she is, and then went to the middle of nowhere and to like do something because you're all upset because she wasn't falling in love with you, even though you're madly in love with her. And it's just, no, it's so creepy. I was reading that like a bunch of movie companies like kept rejecting this movie script, and one of them was like, yeah, it's filled with like the most unlikable characters. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like a single one of these characters. None of them are realistic. They're all just absurd and ridiculous and creepy, and just this movie's no. Ugh. Definitely don't watch this movie unless you really like saxophone and sweaty, sleeveless men playing the saxophone while sweating a lot and stuff. Because then you might actually really enjoy this movie. Because there's an absurd amount of that. But otherwise, no. I keep saying no because that's what the characters were saying in the movie when they were being all rapey and stuff. Because yeah, no, this movie sucks. Don't watch it. No.